Joyce Randolph was an American actress of stage and television, best known for playing Trixie Norton on The Jackie Gleason Show and the television sitcom The Honeymooners. Randolph was born in Detroit, Michigan, on October 21, 1924, of Finnish descent. As a teenager, she acted with the Wayne University Workshop. After she finished high school, she began working in retail sales for a Saks Fifth Avenue store in Detroit. When a touring company of stage door played in Detroit, she auditioned, got a part, and performed for the rest of the tour. She moved to New York City in 1943 to pursue an acting career. She took roles on Broadway and landed various television roles. In 1951, she was seen in a Clorox commercial by Jackie Gleason and was asked to appear in a skit on Cavalcade of Stars, Gleason's variety show on the Dumont television network. Soon after, she was cast as Trixie in The Honeymooners. Several New York columnists referred to her as the Garbo of Detroit. That's still a mystery. I was a nobody in Detroit. Why Garbo? Well, she was Scandinavian, and so was I, responded Randolph. Randolph originally portrayed Trixie in skits on The Jackie Gleason Show and The Honeymooners, which included Jackie Gleason as Ralph Cramden, Art Carney as Ed Norton, Audrey Meadows as Alice Cramden, and Randolph as Thelma Trixie Norton. In a September 2015 interview, Randolph said that she did not portray Trixie Norton in Honeymooners revivals due to personal and geographic reasons. In addition, Randolph stated that Gleason considered her to be the quintessential Trixie. Randolph said that asking Gleason to give her more lines was out of the question. "You don't even talk to Jackie, let alone ask for anything," Randolph said. He didn't talk much and he didn't like to rehearse much. Randolph talked about a hectic workload for filming the show, with getting all 39 episodes shot within a calendar year. Though she stated there was not much conversation among cast members, everyone showed up on Saturdays to film the show in front of a live studio audience. On Broadway, Randolph appeared in Ladies' Night in a Turkish bath. Randolph was typecast after leaving The Jackie Gleason Show and seldom found other acting roles. For years after that role, Randolph said, directors would say, "No, we can't use her. She's too well known as Trixie." She performed in summer stock musicals, made commercials, and had a few guest appearances on television shows, including her reprisal of Trixie Norton, along with Audrey Meadows reprising her role as Alice Cramden in the 1991 episode Fur Flies in High Honey, I'm Home. Randolph married Richard Lincoln Charles, a wealthy marketing executive, on October 2, 1955, the day after The Honeymooners premiered. Richard Charles died in 1997 at age 74. Their son, Randolph Richard Charles, is a marketing executive. Randolph was the grand-aunt of former Major League Baseball pitcher Tim Redding. Randolph was the last surviving cast member of The Honeymooners. She died of natural causes at the age of 99 at her home in Manhattan's Upper West Side on January 13, 2024. Joyce Sonnier was an American singer-songwriter and accordionist who performed country music and Cajun music. Originally signed to Mercury Nashville Records, Sonnier charted several minor singles on the Billboard country charts in the late 1970s. By the late 1980s, he had signed to RCA Records, breaking through with the top 10 hits, No More One More Time, and a cover of Richard Thompson's Tear-Stained Letter. Although his chart success waned at the beginning of the 1990s, he continued recording music, releasing more than 30 albums primarily on independent labels. Joyce Sonnier was born to French-speaking sharecroppers in Rayne, Louisiana, on October 2, 1946. At age 3, he began to play his brother's accordion. By age 6, Sonnier had performed on the radio. At age 11, he made his first recordings. He also released several independent singles and 4 albums as a teenager. By the 1970s, he was signed to Mercury Nashville Records, but without much success in the country music field. Sonnier temporarily abandoned his pursuit of a country music career in favor of recording Cajun music on the independent Rounder Records label. Although his independent album did not produce much commercial success, it was nominated for a Grammy Award. After being signed as Merle Haggard's opening act, Sonnier later decided to return to country music. He was signed to RCA Records in the 1980s, where his biggest successes came in the singles No More One More Time and a cover of British singer Richard Thompson's Tear-Stained Letter, songs which landed in the top 10 on the country charts. In the 1990s, Sonnier moved to Capitol Records, but his solo career faltered soon afterwards. He continued to find success as a session musician and briefly took up acting as well. In the late 1990s, he returned to Rounder Records to record Cajun music once more, occasionally collaborating with Michael Doucet of Beau Soleil. Sonnier also saw his second Grammy nomination for the 1997 album Cajun Pride. A third soon followed, with 2001's Cajun Blood being nominated for Best Traditional Folk Album. In 2009, Sonnier was inducted into the Louisiana Music Hall of Fame. Sonnier made a brief cameo appearance as a member of a dance band in the third episode of the first season of the HBO crime series True Detective, which is set in southern Louisiana. On February 8, 2015, Sonnier won a Grammy Award for Best Regional Roots Music Album. Sonnier died of a heart attack on January 13, 2024, just after a performance near Austin, Texas, at the age of 77. Alec Musser was an American actor and fitness model. Musser was best known for appearances in the shows I Wanna Be a Soap Star and All My Children. Musser was raised on the East Coast in New Jersey and Connecticut and attended the Westminster School before moving to San Diego, where he eventually attended the University of San Diego. After college, Musser moved to California and held jobs as a ski patrolman and lifeguard before he was approached by an agent who sent photos to Bruce Weber, who was casting the new Abercrombie & Fitch campaign. Musser soon found himself in Miami, then shortly after on the shopping bags and billboards for A and F. Alec had traveled to places as far off as Paris, Greece, South Africa, Australia, and Hawaii, modeling for clients such as Gianfranco Ferra, GQ, Cosmopolitan, Men's Health, Speedo, and Target. In August 2005, Musser won the reality TV contest I Wanna Be a Soap Star to get the part on the popular soap All My Children. He took over the role of Del Henry for Windsor Harmon after a long absence since 1995. Although the show stated the role was a 13-week contract, head writer Megan McTavish extended his contract. Musser was signed to Silver Model Management in New York City. He was with News Model Management in Los Angeles until 2008. He had a bit part in the 2010 film Grown Ups. In 2012, he appeared in the television series Desperate Housewives as a masseur. Musser died by suicide in his Del Mar, California home on January 12, 2024, after shooting himself in the chest with a shotgun. He was 50 years old. Adam Sandler, who co-wrote, produced, and starred in Grown Ups, expressed his condolences. William Foster Hayes III was an American actor and recording artist. His song, The Ballad of Davy Crockett, hit the top of the Billboard charts in the spring of 1955. Following a successful career as a musician that began in the late 1940s, Hayes began to focus on dramatic acting parts in the late 1960s, which led him to be cast in a role that gained him additional fame to a younger generation. This new chapter began in 1970 when he originated the character of Doug Williams on NBC's Days of Our Lives, which he continued to play until 2023. Hayes was a singer on the Sid Caesar and Imogene Coca variety Show Your Show of Shows in the early 1950s. He had a supporting role in the 1952 black comedy stop You're Killing Me. During the Davy Crockett craze in 1955, 3 recorded versions of The Ballad of Davy Crockett were in the top 30. Hayes' version was the most popular. It was number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 for 5 weeks, sold over 2 million copies, and was awarded a gold disc. He also starred on Broadway in Rodgers and Hammerstein's Me and Juliet. He had other small hits in the 1950s, including The Berry Tree, and covers of High Noon and Ringle Wrangle. The latter was his only other Hot 100 hit, reaching number 33 in 1957. Hayes graduated from DePaul University with majors in music and English and became a member of Lambda Chi Alpha. Hayes earned a master's degree in music from Northwestern University and a PhD in education from West Virginia University. Hayes was married to Mary Hobbs from 1947 to 1969. They had 5 children. He was then married to his Days of Our Lives co-star Susan Seaforth Hayes, beginning in 1974. Their relationship was so popular that they were featured on the cover of Time in 1976, the only soap opera stars to hold that distinction to date. In 2005, the couple published their joint autobiography, Like Sands Through the Hourglass. The couple also supported the West Texas Rehab Center, hosting the annual telethon in Abilene, Texas. Hayes died on January 12, 2024, at the age of 98. Céline Dion doesn't have control over her muscles, her sister has said, as the singer lives with an autoimmune disease called stiff person syndrome. Claudette Dion said that Céline works hard at combating the illness, but the future for her singing career was uncertain. In our dreams and in hers, the idea is to return to the stage. In what state? I do not know. Dion has suffered from uncontrollable muscle spasms for some time. In January 2022, Dion canceled tour dates after experiencing severe and persistent spasms. In December, she announced to fans, "I've been dealing with problems with my health for a long time, and it's been really difficult for me to face these challenges. Unfortunately, these spasms affect every aspect of my daily life, sometimes causing difficulties when I walk and not allowing me to use my vocal cords to sing the way I'm used to." In May 2023, as the disease persisted, she canceled all future tour dates, saying, "I'm working really hard to build back my strength, but touring can be very difficult even when you're 100%. I want you all to know, I'm not giving up." First diagnosed in 1956, stiff person syndrome is a rare and incurable, though treatable, condition that affects the spinal column and brain, causing them to overstimulate muscles and send them into spasm. Her sister added that many people contacted her foundation to offer support. "People tell us they love her and pray for her. She receives so many messages, gifts, blessed crucifixes." Dion, 55, had intended to continue her Céline concert residency in Las Vegas, as well touring elsewhere. Since her diagnosis, fans have been enjoying her first acting role in romantic drama Love Again, released in May. A Guardian review said Dion is responsible for a conservative 80% of the film's comedy and the bulk of its charm.